close range or at a distance? If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G, flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish food.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the world's steel capital in the city of Bridges, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Acrisure Stadium. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go, Shaq.
An option handoff given to Harris. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. The Steelers at 9-3 here on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run again with Harris. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. This defense for the Dolphins, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dugan. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Back to throw. Dugan. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Well, they had the solid field position there to start the opening drive and didn't have to really move it too far to be in range and take the 3-0 lead.
And a lot of times I think that even I look at this a little bit negatively because of where they started with the field position. Hey, they still got 3 points out of this drive. Got a little momentum going. Got things set up for the rest of the ball game. Take the 3, be happy, and move on.
Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Pickett sets up play action. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. Right back to Jalen Waddle for another catch. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
On 2nd and 9, Pickett. That is caught at the 7-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and now it's 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Sanders' kick is good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the fourth quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Throwing to start the drive. Dugan. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after one. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Looking to throw. Dugan. Finding Harris on back-to-back plays. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. At that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
And taken down just shy of the 40.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And going deep for Hill. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it, can't afford any more missteps, though.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Troy Apke. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun, Dugan. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So they've been unable to capitalize on a great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Harris running straight ahead. And he will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there. Of course you're going to give it to him.
So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-to-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
And still in the first half here, a long way to go. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 40. Pickett now on first down. Completes this one to Pickens. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 14. A good pickup there of 20 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Option right, Pickett going to run with it. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Pickett finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Dolphins get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. To throw on 2nd down, Dugan. Got an open man, it's Washington. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Throwing on first down. Dugan. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Back to throw. Dugan. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Washington. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And 3rd and 8 now. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and that will keep this a 3-point game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throws taken in by Waddle.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 33. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33.
Off play action. Pickett.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke.
And the Steelers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
It was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
On 1st and 10, Dugan. He'll let it fly for Austin. They've got his man complete.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now here's another carry for Harris. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
That swung out wide to Harris. And he will have a Steelers first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
On first down, Dugan. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd. They'll try the right side with Harris. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th. Boswell's kick is good, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Again, it's Harris on second down.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. Looking to throw. Dugan. Washington with a catch, middle of the field. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Pickett will look to throw it here.
Got a man here. It's Wilson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And some room to maneuver.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down.
And he'll work down inside the 45. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A Miami 1st down. That one going for a gain of 11.
1st and 10. Here's Pickett.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins.
George Pickens,
33 yards.
And the Dolphins are an extra point away from going back on top here in the 4th.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, second down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Harris going to get it again on second down.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On third down, here's Harris. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They run for it with Harris. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on fourth down. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
Down to about the 32.
Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
Second down and 7. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 57 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Here's Pickett. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a 1-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one, to me, You take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to get the lead up to 4. The kick by Sanders is good. And they add on and get a little bit of a cushion. It's 20-16 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were he's got a man, complete! Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
He'll let it fly for Austin. And this one is incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. He's back to throw. They'll let this go for the end zone. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it. And this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Here comes Jalen Waddle from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right.
He forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted.
Picked up by Troy Apke.
And the Steelers have just about sewn up this football game.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today,